Hello and welcome to Holistic Glow. Today I'm going to take you with me on a productive day on the Holistic Homestead. I've been meaning to go through a couple of things related to hobbies I've had in my past. I spent several years in my early 20s doing ballet, and I realized that it's been many years since I actually have used the point shoes, and all of the shoes were pretty dead. So I spent some time trying to take the elastics and ribbons off before realizing that the elastics and ribbons were very shot. So I ended up just throwing everything away. Next, I was going through some of the other ballet supplies I had. So I had some flat shoes, I had a foot stretcher, rollers, and I decided that I could take those extra ballet supplies and donate them to my local studio. I also found some supplies related to one of my other recent hobbies. So I spent a couple of years loving boxing, and I just for several years have not been boxing or using anything. So I was actually recently able to sell my punching bag, my body bag to the studio that I used to box at, and donate my wraps as well. Next on the agenda, trip to Whole Foods. I do want to find more stuff at farmers markets, but this being early June, there's just not much being offered at this point in the upper Midwest. So off to Whole Foods I went. I got supplies for making yogurt. There's so much fresh fruit available. I don't normally buy fruit, so I got a whole bunch of that and got everything put away and organized. I like to try to get everything put away as quickly as I can. Otherwise, if I unload the groceries from my bags and don't get them put away, it's gonna sit there for a day or two. I got a couple bunches of fresh mint. I've been loving mint. I'll boil it into a tea and use it as the base for a peppermint lemonade. And I've also made peppermint ice cream recently that was so delicious. So for all my berries, I am Homestead of one. So in order to keep them fresh for as long as possible, I like to give them a little vinegar soak. So I put the berries each in a bowl, fill it up with water, and then add a splash of vinegar and let those soak for, 15 minutes or so. Next, lunch. I've been really craving sandwiches lately, and what better way to do this sandwich than with some gluten-free toasted bread and a whole bunch of different flavor profiles and a lot of crunch. So today I've got some slices of cucumber, I've got tomatoes, mozzarella cheese, I found some fresh basil, I have some pickled red onions, mayo, spicy mustard, and some mortadella, as well as a leftover hard-boiled egg. So the sandwich is small and there's a lot of ingredients, so it's going to be difficult to close and to eat, but you know what? Sometimes a little mess is worth all that flavor. So now that it's finally warmed up, I've been loving having some lunch outside. And I've got some little predators waiting for me. Get all those berries rinsed off. And I like to spread them out so they can get nice and dry before I put them into containers and pop them into the fridge. Next, I decided I'm going to make sourdough starter. Now, I've been pretty much gluten-free for around 10 years now. Before I decided to go gluten-free, I was an avid baker. I used to make wheat bread, sourdough bread. I'd make 6 loaves a day for my family. So I got this starter put together so I can see how I'd do with that. So I think it was about a cup each of water and some einkorn wheat flour. And that's something that I'll feed daily for about a week before I can start using it. So I'm gonna get all those berries in their bowls now that they're all nice and clean. Next, next, I'm going to make some kefir. So my mom recently gifted me some kefir grains, and all you gotta do to make kefir is throw about a good tablespoon or so with a quart of milk into a jar, leave that at room temperature for a day or two. Depending on the temperature of your room, sometimes it can be as few as 12 hours before it's ready. So I'm gonna set it up and forget about it till tomorrow. Next on the agenda, I had all these gorgeous peonies blooming. I love to look at them on the bushes outside, but they also tend to waste and dry out and get lost. So I figured I'd take a bunch of them and put them inside. I've got a gorgeous jar that I threw on my kitchen table and threw another bunch of them at my bedside. And it's so great because when I walk into my bedroom, there's this heavenly smell. So next, headed out to the coop to get the fresh eggs for the day. Just 2 so far, but I do get up to 4 or 5 or 6 a day. Next, I'm headed out to the chicken run to get the goose bath filled up, and then I like to turn my dirt every couple of weeks. So this kind of helps with the soil drainage. When they're cooped up and they're getting the chicken poop all over the place, it can make it really hard to drain. And of course, it's drier than a bone. We're in a bit of a drought right now. I also like to throw some diatomaceous earth to keep the pests down. Look at that, there's a little toad in the swimming pool. So this is another pool I've got just for the goose and the duck to have some fun when they are out of the run.
Goosey, come here, Goosey.
Next chore on the list is to clean out the chicken coop. So this will do, I don't know, every month or 2. It depends on how much time they're able to spend outside, but I'll muck out the chicken coop generally under the perches and just spread it out in my field. And so that is everything that I got accomplished on this morning. Good productive morning. I'm happy, chickens are happy. There's my little turkey, goose, everybody. So thanks for watching, and I hope to see you guys in the next one.